Is the new update of Automobilista 2 finally the game changer? Find out right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. I'm Serta, and while I will be your host for this video, Crunchie did the test as he did for Drift 21, see the link up there, and the images are his. We're continuing our series about Automobilista 2 with a closer look at the 0.9.21 update we talked about in our news last week, which I've also linked up there. It mostly brought changes in physics, force feedback, and in the way the AI handles itself, and that's what he'll test here. Before we do that, remember that if you want to be informed about new videos, click subscribe and also click on the bell and become part of the ever-growing RomRom family. We've heard lots of praise for this update, everybody seems to have gone googly-eyed at it, and it seems to finally have gotten force feedback right. Partly because of the changes in physics, especially the tires, partly because of many small changes in the way Automobilista 2 handles force feedback. The first thing Crunchie did was to remove his settings folder, as Reza advises to, so the sim would build it anew with the new data. If you want to know more about this, we'll give you instructions on how to do safely later in the video. Removing the setting folder meant Crunchie had to recalibrate his wheel, a G920 in case somebody is wondering, and set everything anew. For the first test, he chose an Aussie Racing Cars Camaro, which shows Crunchie is a man of exquisite taste if you ask me, because Camaros rock. He left the force feedback on default, and lo and behold, not only was there some force feedback, but it was strong. Yes, the force feedback was strong in this sim. The car responded very well to input, it lost the right amount of grip at the right places, and the sim also transmitted to him the feeling you get when you start to lose the car. All in all, a great first test with standard settings, but he, as we all do, wanted some adjustments to the force feedback to get it more to his liking. So he turned the force feedback gain down to 60 and raised the low boost and FX to compensate, reducing the menu spring strength while he was at it. This made the force feedback even better, the sim responding quite well to little wiggles of the wheel. The changes he did gave him more control over the car, even allowing him to correct any loss of grip immediately. So it seems the praises are correct. The new and enhanced physics and force feedback seem to work. How can you get them too? Easy. On your computer, go to My Documents Automobilista 2, which normally is on C. If you're using Windows 10, you can click on This PC on Documents, and it will bring you to the exact same folder. There, rename the folder Automobilista 2 to something like automobilista2.bak, just in case something goes wrong. We don't want to delete this folder just yet. Start Automobilista 2 and the sim will recreate the folder with standard settings. Be advised, this means you will have to redo all the settings you made in the sim, so bring some patience, you're gonna need it. If you do this, Crunchie promises you'll get very good force feedback, possibly the best he's found in any sim he's had, even better than Assetto Corsa Competizione and Race Room Racing Experience, which really is saying something. He felt very confident in his car after this update. Crunchie set up a race against other F3 Dallara, and the AI behaved well, avoiding any action that would end up in a collision. On the other hand, I still see the odd AI slamming into another AI, so there's still some way to go. No need to dwell on graphics and sound, they're as good as always. The update of the physics and force feedback is a game changer, and Reza were not exaggerating when they talked about being very near to the 1.0 version with this update. As we all expected, the continuous tinkering that we're all accustomed to by Reza is starting to bear fruit, moving Automobilista 2 further into the sim region and up to fighting against the big boys. On the other hand, Crunchie feels they should bring the UI design to modern times, thinking the design is a little bit outdated. A feeling not shared by all in RomRom, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments. The sim is still on early access, but now only reduced by 20% instead of the 40% they started with. We, on the other hand, are an all-access channel, so check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.